Mexican politicians forced to wear dresses as punishment for not keeping their campaign promises. That and more coming up on this edition of Giants All News. Let the nerd do his dance and ting. Okay, here we go. Thank you for tuning in. This here is all for you to laugh and have some fun and thing, right? So let's start with our first story here. Teacher sparks controversy for making students wear cardboard boxes during a test to stop cheating. Okay, a Mexican teacher has come under fire for making high school students wear cardboard boxes on their heads to block out their peripheral vision so that they wouldn't cheat. Luis Juarez Teas, the director of Campus 01 Cibinal at the College of Bachelors in the Mexican city of Tlaxcala, has been accused of humiliating and breaking the basic human rights of his students after a photo of him overseeing an exam where students wore cardboard boxes on their heads went viral online. The students' parents shared the photo on social media and issued a public statement asking educational authorities in Mexico to dismiss Luis. We denounce those acts of humiliation, physical, emotional, and psychological violence to which the students of Campus 01 El Sabinal are subjected. This is how Luis receives threats and humiliates students. As parents concerned about the academic training of our children, we beg the federal and state educational authorities and institutions that ensure the rights of young people to act immediately with the dismissal of Luis, director of the school. We hope that this type of violence against the youth is not overlooked and that the federal and state authorities dismissed this public official and that they cease the type of humiliation in a space destined for learning. The photo of the students wearing cardboard boxes with cutout eye holes that only allow them to see in front of them without turning their heads was shared thousands of times since last week and was eventually picked up by mainstream media as well. However, instead of condemning the teacher, most users congratulate him for the fine job of teaching and steering the youth in the right direction. One person commented, "Excellent work, teacher. This does not harm them, and in fact, parents should worry more about their children studying than about some boxes that teach them a great lesson." Another one said, "Excellent technique. Congratulations to the teacher." Asked by local reporters to comment on the situation, Luis, who appears in the photo that was shown with the students wearing the box on their heads, said that he only attended as an observer and the students consented to the anti-copying technique. Now, keep in mind, this is not the first time we have seen this kind of extreme anti-cheating technique. Back in 2013, a similar controversial story from Thailand where students were forced to wear anti-cheating helmets made from sheets of paper. They went to Facebook. Facebook it. We're going to get results there. You know, Facebook is kind of dangerous to a certain degree. It's guilty until proven innocent. You put something up there and everybody's like, rah, rah, rah. And not just Facebook, almost every social media there is now. And even in mainstream news, rah, 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 you know what I mean? Even before anything is proven or disproven. On to our next story. And you know, these politicians, man, I know these politicians, they always make promises that they never keep. Just look back over the years and you'll see what I mean. Now, this mayor in a city in Mexico fell short of his promises. No, politicians always make promises they can't keep during electoral campaigns, but voters hardly ever hold them responsible for lying. Well, residents in a small Mexican town recently decided to teach their mayor a lesson for failing to fulfill his campaign promises by parading them in women's clothes in the street for 4 straight days. Javier Sebastian Jimenez Santiz won the mayoral race in the town of Hextan on the promises of improving the local water system, but failed to live up to his expectations of his constituents. Last month, after getting sick of his excuses and promises, locals stormed into the mayor's office and dressed up Santiz and his municipal trustee Luis Ton in women's clothing. Mayor Santiz had to wear a long dark skirt, a white blouse with ruffles and flowery embroidery, while Ton was given a bright pink dress with polka dots on it. The two officials were paraded through Hextan for at least 4 days, starting on July the 30th in front of crowds of locals holding signs denouncing their failings. And as if having to wear bright-colored women's dresses in public wasn't humiliating enough, the two were forced to stop motorists in traffic and beg them for donations for the projects they vowed to complete during the campaign. In an interview with local reporters, an uncomfortable-looking Mayor Santiz can be heard explaining that he meant to respect his campaign promises, but was unable to do so because the necessary funds, 3 million pesos, had been diverted to other municipalities. However, as he spoke, people around him could be heard screaming, "Liar! You liar!" You know, that sounds like some medieval stuff. They're off with his head! Off with the heads! The people of Hextan are now asking for an investigation into whether the mayor stole the funds he claims went to other municipalities. Santiz claims he's innocent. I'm innocent. I remember somebody else, I'm innocent. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I remember that, you know what I mean? So my man is over here screaming his innocence and stuff like that. You know, and Santiz claimed that he was innocent, but said that he would not resist an investigation. I mean, why would he resist an investigation? If they want to storm your offices, put your ass clot in some dresses, frills and embroideries and things like that, what will they do to you if you say no investigation? I say no investigation. I am the main polytrickster here in this land. Photos of the two Mexican officials being paraded in women's clothing and having to beg for change from ordinary people to fulfill their campaign promises have been doing the rounds on social media for days. People generally applauded the initiative of the Hextan and said that their own local authorities deserve similar treatment. There's some politicians right here that, well, you know, where I'm from, we call them polytricksters. Because they're tricking you. They tell you you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. The time come, the time passed, they didn't do nothing. Nada. Zilch. Anyway, public shaming of local officials is not uncommon in Central and South America. From Central America, oh yeah, they will shame you. Last year, the people of Chiquila took their mayor hostage and demanded a ransom for his release after he also failed to fulfill campaign promises. Also in 2018, the people of San Buenaventura, a small town in northern Bolivia, put their mayor in stocks for doing a poor job serving them. Now, here's where the political correctness come in. However, this particular initiative seems to have backfired as the women of Hextan took offense over the fact that they dressed them in women's clothes to humiliate them. They claim they had been discriminated against. I don't know if you could call that discrimination. And I'll tell you why. It's a matriarchal society. I'm manly man, you know what I mean? The dresses was a tool to make them feel as underprivileged, or not so much underprivileged, but let's say disenfranchised groups of people. I mean, they couldn't exactly put them in blackface. That would have caused a whole lot of trouble there. You know what I mean? Now, I totally understand some people might correlate blackface with the dress and this humiliation of women, but it's not humiliation or discrimination of women from what I see. These guys look down on women anyway. because of the society they're raised in. So putting them in that dress, not so much of a humiliation, I think. It's more like a lesson in humility. Or humility, not humidity. You know, it's in Mexico, so it's humid, but they don't need a lesson in that, they live it. Anyway, this next story is about a pastor. And in my opinion, pastors are just glorified politicians these days. You got those prosperity preachers and all of that. Here we go. This pastor got caught stealing an SUV and blames the devil, the dark one, and poor donations in the church. So it's the devil and his congregation's fault. Anyway, the pastor of a Christian church in Ogun State, Nigeria, was recently arrested after allegedly stealing an SUV from a car dealership and later selling it for half the list price. 41-year-old Jeremiah Indoro, the pastor of Miracle Church, recently visited a car dealership under the pretext of wanting to buy a Toyota Highlander SUV for evangelical purposes. Evangelical purposes. For mistress purposes, maybe more like it. After negotiating a final price of $1.2 million or $3,300 for the car, the holy man requested he be allowed to take a test drive before making the purchase. You know, customers go on test drives all the time. So the dealership staff saw nothing wrong with the giving Indoro the keys to a Toyota Highlander. But when he failed to return in the following 24 hours, they called police. You all wait 24 hours to call the cops? I know. He's a man of God. He would do nothing wrong unless, according to the headlines, the man of God heard the devil instead of hearing God. A federal special anti-robbery squad apprehended the Jesus Miracle pastor and 3 of his alleged accomplices in Nigeria's Lagos state, where they reportedly sold the stolen SUV for $1,550. Asked why he had turned to stealing a car, Indoro said that it was the devil and the disappointingly low donations of his congregation that pushed him to the deed. So all this time, so I guess, wow. So let's keep going. I decided to steal the SUV to sell and use the proceeds to repay the $650,000 loan I borrowed from a microfinance bank in Lagos. The disgraced pastor told police. I borrowed $650,000 from a microfinance bank to renovate my church. My church, he says, with the hope to recover the investment from tithes and offerings, but I was surprised that for 3 months, no money was realized to pay the loan back. See, God tell him to get the loan. When he can't pay back the loan, the devil says, oh, preacher, how about you steal the SUV to pay the loan back? When the pressure from the microfinance bank became unbearable for me, the devil told me to steal a vehicle from the car dealer to sell and use the proceeds to repay the loan. I regret my actions. Of course you regret your actions because you got caught. And you know you was going to get caught. What did you think? They're going to say, it's a man of God. It's a preacher. We can't prosecute the preacher. The African pastor was arrested along with Lateef Oyentinde, who allegedly purchased the SUV from the pastor, as well as Jemai Abidon and Lukman Moyoziesa, who allegedly introduced the two. However, Oyentinde denies any wrongdoing and claims that he had never bought the car. He would have never bought the car if he had known it was stolen. See, my man, you took 3 people down with you. 3. Because the devil talked to you. Who was talking to them? Oh, you were. Oh, Lord. Poor Oyentinde said, if I had known that the pastor stole the vehicle, I would not have purchased it. The 4 suspects are will be officially charged after an investigation is conducted. Wow, Mr. Preacher. I wonder if he's going to get forgiven and he's going to be back preaching at them. Because we're going to have to worry about when the devil is going to talk to old dude. As a matter of fact, you got to worry when the devil is going to talk to any preacher or priest that you know. Oh, total craziness. Anyway, man, you know, keep watching, keep watching. I have a playlist of all the videos from the Giants Odd News series. So, keep watching it, one after the other. It's funny. I promise you. Don't stop watching. Just keep watching. Because it's all made so that you could laugh or you could go, or you can go, yeah, damn, what was that? And remember, while you're watching all of that thing there, while you're watching all of it, make your life cool running. Just like the t-shirt says, make your life cool running.